Hey folks, and welcome. Today we've got something a little bit different from the usual shoes, but still Gucci. Here we've got a nice wallet. This is sort of a classical design. I really quite like this. I quite like the sort of the bottle green colour. It has got nice patina, but there is a few places that it's just kind of, well, a bit more sort of dirtier than patina. Also, it's been used for quite a while, so it's got quite a sort of coin smell to it. I just want to freshen it up, make sure it's clean, make sure it's hygienic. The person who had it before me, yeah, they took care of it. It doesn't smell dirty or anything like that. It doesn't smell horrible. It just smells like a normal used sort of wallet. So I'm going to do this one up today, give it a little bit of treatment, give it some weather care as well, and just prolong its life, make it a bit nicer, and see how it turns out. And if you've seen my videos by now, we're going to use the usual stuff. The Worth interior cleaner. I think we will start off with the interior. As I said, this has got like a right sort of coin money smell to it, just from being used for, well, coins and money. I'm just going to give this a good old spray in here, and this should actually clean it up as well as get rid of any sort of odours like that. I think for this we'll use special tool number 2, the toothbrush. Just give it a good clean all round. Just working my way in a sort of pattern, just so I get all of it. Obviously just working into the corners as well. Now I don't know, some might say this is a purse just because it's got this bit here, but I did take it into Gucci and they did say, yeah, it is actually a leather wallet design. I'm happy enough using it anyway. I don't really care if it was a purse. I'm quite happy with myself to be using it either way. It's something that I like, so why not? I don't know if you can actually see that dirt that's just been pulled up there just as I put that second spray in. It's just really pulled out a lot of dirt and grime. Yeah, if you look at this toothbrush, those bristles were white before. Just going to get a load of tissue now. Stick it at the front one, which seems to be a lot better. But yeah, look at that. That was the reason I'm just wanting to clean it out, really. See, we've got a line right here. Let's see what we can do there. Now this might be quite ingrained, so we'll see what it's like in the leather. It might be quite deep. I don't want to scrub it too much, just because I don't want to damage the leather. You go circular motions and back and forth, just change direction, just kind of get right into the grain of the leather. As you can see, the foam's starting to go a bit green, so that's just showing that some of the pigment's coming out here. So I think that's probably as far as I really want to go. Just going to go around the edges a little bit here. Moving on to this canvas material section, just make sure toothbrush is clean. You don't want any sort of transfer, especially when you've seen the sort of green dye coming off. You don't want that to be going onto here. So I've just made sure this is clean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this material and the leather separate, just so there is no sort of transfer from one to the other. So again, just spray. Just going to get the first lot in, and this just soaks into the material, just dampens it. I'm just going to allow that to soak in. Next thing, just reusing the spray here and the toothbrush. So we're going to very sort of carefully and lightly just give it a bit of a scrub. Not too harsh, just so you don't ruin the material, but just enough to get some abrasion into it, just to lift the dirt. I'm just going to use the front edge here. I don't know if you can see, this is just going to sort of got a brown tinge to it now, just with all the stuff that's getting pulled out of the material. Years worth of stuff just getting pulled out. I actually got this because I really like the colour, the sort of bottle green of the leather. It was actually a colour I was wanting a Chesterfield couch in, but I ended up getting a red one here, which you can kind of see in the corner. It just kind of came up for sale very close to myself for a very good price. Needing some work done to it, I just couldn't say no. So I'd seen this, and yeah, just thought I would get this. Got it for a really good price off eBay, and if you like, feel free to use any of my affiliate links below for eBay. It won't cost you anything else to use them, but it will help out the channel. Don't think you'll see too much of a difference just now. You'll see that it's a bit more sort of lighter than this one. This one's got a brown tinge to it. You'll probably see it a bit more once it dries off. A bit of a difference anyway. So that's the material a bit cleaner anyway. Next thing we're going to do is we're just going to move on to the leather. One thing about this Worth spray is it really does soften up the leather, so it makes it a bit pliable. So just remember when you're putting this kind of back to what it should be, remember in putting the shape that you want to have it. Otherwise when it dries it'll be out of shape. So just remember things like this. Just put it back. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a leather feed into this anyway after I clean it, so I'm not too worried about it. But just if you were going to use this, just be aware of that. Also, same goes with sort of fabrics and stuff like that as well. Make sure it doesn't dry in sort of a position you don't want it to dry in. So what I'm going to do as well is, just in case there's any transfer, I'm just going to go over the material parts here again when I'm cleaning it all off, and that'll just pull it all out while it's still wet anyway. And also this does soften up the leather, so just watch that you don't be too harsh on it as well, otherwise it might be easy to damage and even just kind of tear a little bit into the top layer. Go over this like this, so just kind of seep in. Whoa. Lovely. That's some more of my carpet cleaned as well. Slowly getting there. Just got this side to do, and also this little strap here. Hopefully no spurting this time. Card bit and the actual notes part, that's not too bad, so I'm just going to give it a quick clean. It's it smells okay as well, but I'll just give it a quick clean out just to make sure it's all hygienically cleaned. I'll just let this seep into here. It's mostly the edges here actually. Now it's had a good sort of clean, next part is we're going to put some nourishment into it. As this is a really nice well made piece, and it's something that Gucci don't make anymore either, I like to kind of keep it in really nice condition, and to do this I'm going to use Saphir Renovateur. Now this is like a moisturiser for your skin, leather being a skin as well, it needs moisture and moisturiser, otherwise it'll crack and split and stuff like that. So this just kind of helps keep the sort of life into it. Just gonna grab a little bit here, and you don't have to use much of this. What I usually do is pull a couple of fingers tight on the glove. Well, I've seen folk using the bare hands for this as well, and just gonna dab it onto a few areas. Let it soak in. This is actually, from what I've seen with other people using it, it's a really good cream to use on your leather to put nourishment into it. And I've certainly found that it does give really good results with this, when I've used it on shoes. Well, so far anyway, thankfully, as you can see, I have actually put it onto the material, but I've, touch wood, not yet found that it stains any material of that either. Just quite good for when I go over the bits like this. I'm just being a little too fast here, just slow it down, take my time. don't have to, yeah, you don't have to be too even with this. I mean, you can just kind of spread it as evenly as possible. But what you'll find as it dries, you'll find more wetter spots. And just rub them in anyway. I may have used a bit much on this. Again, as I've harked on about a few times, just like the use of shoe trees, keeping your shoe shape. Just any other things like this. What I'll do is leave this to dry in the position that I want it. Make sure these folds here are done properly as well. Otherwise, when it dries, it'll be out of shape and a bit distorted, or maybe not sitting right. But it's just a little helpful kind of piece of advice with that, because it goes from nice and pliable to more rigid. And while it's pliable, you can put it in the position that you want. And then once it dries and kind of sets in, it goes a little bit more rigid, like kind of what it was like before. But you'll notice the difference once you use this. You'll find it's not as dry, and some pieces which can be a bit like cardboard and really tough, really rigid, you'll find that it loosens up. And it's just something that you can use on a sort of regular basis, help maintain whatever pieces you're using. There's various other makes you can get as well. This one isn't actually vegan friendly, just to let you know, but there is actually vegan ones out there, which I want to actually maybe try a few different types just to see what the results are like for different ones. And this whole wallet just feels a lot more pliable now. It's rejuvenated it quite a lot. It's probably added a lot of years onto its life anyway. And as I say, just constant maintenance, looking after things. And then they look after things, they look after you. That's one of my sort of things anyway. Along with whatever goes between you and the ground, to make sure you get the best one you can, the best quality. So anything, shoes that you walk in, help keep your feet and your posture right. Tyres for your vehicles, help keep you gripped on the road, especially if it's wet or anything like that. A bed at night, make sure you've got a good mattress so your back and everything's okay. I think it's just a really good sort of guidance to follow. This feels so much different, really pliable as you can see. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make sure it's in the right position, make sure these are all concertinaed properly. Close this, just make sure it's all lined up as it should be. You can see the quality of actual Gucci products. This is beautifully lined up here, beautiful stitching, lovely lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this in this position to dry off a little bit. This will help kind of set the right position I want it in. We'll come back in a little bit once it's dry. So I left the wallet overnight, and as you can see, it's got quite a nice shape to it. And now this has dried a bit as well, you can see it is a lot cleaner. So what we're going to do, just get the horsehair brush again. Just can actually feel it does have a lot more sort of flexibility in the wallet as well. Usual with leather and age, it just dries and hardens a little. Really feel it's a lot more pliable and back to being quite usable again. There's just a few little bits on it, like here, as you can see. What I'm going to do with those, so I'm just going to treat them with some Famaco and it's leather cream. It's Axe's dye as well. Although you can see it's quite a bit of a different shade. I've done a colour match on the inside earlier just to have a look to see what it was like, and it turned out pretty much okay. So what I'm going to do, just going to make sure the glove is nice and tight. Dab a tiny little drop on my finger. You don't want to get this on the material, so I've just got a tiny little drop on my finger here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to work this in here. Just trying to avoid these threads as much as I can. What I'll do is just get my cloth, which I've used for green before. It's still a bit damp, so it's a bit darker anyway. We'll see what that's like when it dries off a little bit. Just also give this a little brush. Next thing I'm going to do is just apply some wax polish here. It's a neutral polish. I'm quite wary of doing this just because, well, I don't want any sort of residue while it's in my pocket. I don't want it to feel like it's got any sort of residue either. So what I've done off camera was just done a little test part here, just where you couldn't see it. It turned out okay. I'll show you the process I'm going to use just to do this, just to make sure that it doesn't leave a residue or anything like that either. So just getting a little bit here, just lightly apply it onto the leather. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I can really see the pattern here in the leather just coming out a little bit more. So once I've applied it, just getting a clean bit of the rag, just buffing it here again, just avoiding the material. Horsehair brush. To sort of avoid any transference at all, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some tissue here. Still see quite a bit of patina here, just where this was exposed a lot more. Do the rest of it. As you can see here, it's a bit nicer than what it was anyway. So there we have it. One cleaned up wallet. A lot nicer shape. Fits lovely together. Lines up really nicely. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. A like will really help the channel out with the YouTube algorithm, and if you want to see more of this, feel free to subscribe. Remember and hit the bell icon as well just to get notifications. Anyway, have a good day.